Welcome to Papa Junk Shop. Got another battery charger to check out. This one is not mine. A friend of mine that has an interest in this stuff wanted me to check this out, let him know what I thought of it. So it's a 12 volt 24 volt automatic battery charger maintainer, 20 amp. Got a little manual, power cord, and the test leads. Okay, give me a second to go find some spectacles here. Now I can see. So 20 amp smart battery charger. Current regulating switch, 3 levels. 3 amp for 24 volt, 5 amp for 12 volt. Gear 2, 5 amp for 24 volt, 10 amp for 12 volt. Gear 3, 10 amp for 24, 20 amp for 12. And I guess that's this little delicate little switch right here. Okay, well, as long as I got her in my hand, I might as well look her over. Plastic case, got some rubber feet, power cord and a fan, ventilation here and here, and this must be the plug-in for the battery leads. Okay. On the bottom we've got some information. AC input voltage 100 to 240, 50-60 cycles. Output voltage 12 to 24. Output current 12 volt 20 amp, 24 volt 10 amp. Output volt under, no load 27.6. Minimum start voltage greater than 7 volts. Input power with load max 280 watts. Input power under no load 2.8 watts. Net weight 470 grams. Dimensions 158 by 90 by 50 millimeters. This charger is suitable for lithium, lead acid, lithium iron phosphate 4. Please choose the right type of battery for charging. And of course made in China. Okay, the pamphlet that comes with it. Shows the display here. Okay, says there's a repair mode, 24 hours. Advanced battery recovery mode for repairing and storing old idle damaged sulfated batteries. Automatic battery test is conducted immediately after the absorption stage. 7-stage charging process. Battery desulfation, soft start charging, bulk charging, absorption charging, battery test, reconditioning charging, float and maintenance charging. Lithium battery modes. Lead acid battery mode, motorcycle, and lithium iron phosphate battery mode. Repair mode. Charge mode. Okay, here's the instructions. And looks like we got her in several languages, so let's just hook her up and push buttons and see what we get. Give me a minute or so to get her hooked up. I'm going to use my 24 volt battery here. It's two 12 volt gins, 100 ampere hours series for 24 volts, so we're going to try this on 24 volts. Looks like you get a couple of crimp-on lugs in case you don't want the battery clamps on. So you'd have to cut them off to put that on. Okay, I'm going to get her hooked up. Now I got the cords all unwound, and I was glad to see that it has a nice long power cord, about 10 feet long. The battery cables, I didn't actually measure, but they got to be shy of 3 feet. So that's not real long, but the 10-foot power cord helps, I guess. So let's plug her in and see what we get. Okay, so it says off. Lithium is lit. Mode selector button. It's on 3 to 5 amp. So let's hook the battery up. Let's see. I'll zoom you in just a whisker here. Let's see. Find something to prop that up. There, I think you can see it okay. So, well, there we go. No, you can't see it okay. So negative. Positive. Okay, I got it on lithium iron phosphate. I'm not sure exactly what that display means. I guess lithium iron phosphate, 24 volts. I got it on the 3 to 5. Move it up to the 10. It does say 24 volts there. I don't see where it says any amperage. So I'm going to see if I can find an amp meter, and we will see how many amps it's actually putting into the battery. Now I looked in the instructions, and it says that this LET or whatever it is, automatic battery test is conducted immediately after the absorption stage. It monitors the voltage for 10 minutes to determine if the battery is full or not. Well, my battery is not full. So I guess I'm going to let it go for the 10 minutes and see what happens, and then I'll get the amp meter out. Well, while I was looking for the amp meter, when I come back, it was only gone a couple of minutes, and it's showing full. My battery's at 26.5. That is not full. So I'm not impressed so far. One of them you gotta have a completely dead battery for it to function? Don't know. So, see if I can find a lead acid battery that is not all the way charged. We'll give that a try. I found a little garden tractor battery that measured 11.96. So we'll pick lead, and here we go. Okay, so the display does show 5.9 amps, 29 Celsius, 13.1, 9.9. Boy, changes pretty quick. Now this battery's coming up really fast. It's probably not in good shape, obviously. 14.3 volts it says already. The fan did come on. Did I say 18 amps? Didn't quite catch it. 14.5 volts. Yeah, 18.6 amps. .5 amps, 0.2 ampere hours going into the battery, 14.6 volts, 18.5 amps. I didn't realize you guys couldn't see that. Yeah, that's not very good to see, is it? Oops, wrong way. See if I can't get it so you can see it better. .5 volts, 15.2 amps, 0.5 ampere hours. So we'll let it go for a bit and see what it does. Actually, at that angle there, you can see it better. .4 amps, so it is dropping a little. There is warm air coming out. And I assume that the 30 degrees centigrade is the temperature of the charger inside. I guess now that we see the display in operation, it's pretty nice. I still don't understand why my 24 volt lithium iron phosphate battery, it said it was full, and it's not. I purposely used it down under load. It was on a 12.7 each 12 volt battery, so it's 25 point something, which is not fully charged by any stretch. Lead acid wise, it's going at it pretty good. So we're at 11 amps. I wonder if let me flip this down one. See what the amperage goes to. 9.8 amps. Ten amps. Okay, we'll go down to the lowest setting. 5 amps. So it does charge at the highest rate for the, depending on what, low, medium, or high. Gotta give it credit for that. Got 1 ampere hour in there. 32C, 13.4 volts. Okay, let's bump it back up. 11.4 amps. Okay, I'm going to let that go for a bit. I'll turn you guys back on when it gets a little bit lower. See how it acts. Been about 10 minutes. We're at 14.7, 2.6 amps, 1.7 ampere hours. So it's going into the finishing up stages, I guess. Got down to 1 amp, and then it went into the automatic battery testing. It says it's going to monitor the voltage for 10 minutes to determine if the battery is full. So we'll see what it says in 10 minutes. Well, it didn't go for the full 10 minutes, but it says it's full. So I'm going to disconnect that. Get that out of here. And I'm going to switch it back to the lithium iron phosphate. I'm going to attempt this one more time. Okay, did come on that time. So why didn't it come on the first time? .6 volts, 9, 10 amps. And that's what it's supposed to do, is 10 amps, and it's doing it. And the 26.6 does agree with my meter back here. So it does the whole 10 amps just like it says. Okay, I'm going to leave her go, see how she does. About 10 minutes. And we've got still a 26.6 volts, but 8 amps. Why it dropped 2 amps already, I don't know. But I would like to try this on generator. I have one of those Harbor Freight 2-stroke 800 watt generators that makes not the cleanest power in the world. So I wanted to see how one of these will act on that. So I'm going to unplug it from the utility power and plug it into that generator. I don't know if you can hear it running, it's outside. So here we go. Okay, well, it did come on. The amperage is slowly going up. Nine 9.7, 9.8, 9.9. So it's doing a 10 amps again right off the bat. We'll let it run for a little bit. We'll give it a few minutes and I'll be back. We'll see how it's doing. Now it's only been about 2 or 3 minutes. We're at 26.68 amps again. So it didn't take long for it to drop off. So I'm not sure why this early in the game it would be dropping off. The temperature doesn't seem to be 32 degrees. Doesn't seem like it would be a temperature issue. So I'm going to switch it back to the utility. I don't need to be burning up gas. So I'll be back shortly. Now I plugged it back into the utility power and it was 10 amps again right off the bat for a couple minutes, and then it's down to around 8 amps. And I plugged it into the kilowatt this time, and 210 watts is what it's using on the AC side. So I'm going to let her run for a little bit, see how she does. Seems to be holding it around 8 amps, so I don't want to run my stuff here on utility when I got free power, so I'm going to see how it gets along when I turn on my other solar controllers and my hybrid inverter. So let's see if I can get you guys up here to... Okay, I'll turn the EP-Ever on first. Okay, showing the solar panel at 69.5. And we're charging 34.8 amps. And The charger is still charging 8 amps. And of course the cloud just come along, so it dropped a little. And it's coming and going. So I'll turn on the power mister. And I know you're probably not going to be able to see that display, I'm thinking. I don't think there's any way I can get a better shot at it. Boy, it's zoomed in, it's touchy. It'll take it a while to come around. I'll tell you what it's doing. Okay, it's just recognized that the solar is available. .66 volts on the solar panel. 289 watts, 369 watts, 415 watts, 436 watts, and here comes the fan. 644 watts. .15 amps going into the battery. Now there goes the sun's fading in and out again, so it's dropping down. The charger is still doing 7.98 amps, so it seems to get along alright with all this stuff. Now I should be able to get my batteries back up into shape. I purposely run it down so we can give this thing a try, so. We'll see how she does in a few hours. Did this a few minutes ago and it still said 60% because it was doing the last two. And then like wasn't even 10 minutes I looked and it says full. And that's what we got there. And we're charging 0 watts there, and I got the EPR set about 0.2 volts higher than the POW mister so that it takes most of the load, and so it's only 2.3 amps, so we finally got her all charged up, but seems like this is kind of premature, so I'm gonna mess around a little more with it and see you then. Now I've left this hooked up for several hours and I've been using the battery again since it said it was full. Battery voltage is 27.3. I'm going to disconnect the DC lead. Okay, it says off now. I'm going to reconnect it and we'll see if it starts charging again. Yes, it did. Let's see if it makes it to 10 amps. Yep. Okay, so once it decides it's full, I guess it's going to stay that way until you disconnect it and start it over. Don't know how low it would have to go before it starts again. I'm not going to try that. So I guess it's a pretty nice charger. I mean, it does pretty much what they advertised it to do. It seemed to me that it said full a little premature, but I wasn't right here watching every second of it either. But for the most part, it does what it says, and it most certainly is small, lightweight. And there, now it says full again. Just that quick. Well, the battery does say it's 28.2. Let me disconnect it again. Hook it back up. Battery voltage is 28.2. But see, this capacity thing says 60%. Here's 28.2. There, it says full. So I guess my batteries are full now. Anyways, you guys decide what you think. I think it's alright. So if you liked it, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Thanks for watching. See you next time.